Alright, welcome back to the history on the cancelled Borderlands Online MMO. This is part 2 of the series, so if you haven't seen part 1 yet, the link will be in the description down below. So today we start on January 18, 2015. An update was posted that the closed beta would last for 5 days. Also, certain weapon types would be tied to their respective classes, and only the class could use the weapon type. So the Fire Charming, or Siren as we know it, would be the only class allowed to use submachine guns. The Dragon, or Berserker, would be the only class allowed to use shotguns. The Wind Hunter, or Assassin, could use sniper rifles, and the Mercenary, or Soldier, could use assault rifles, but all characters could use a pistol. We also learned that PvP would have 2 modes, Team Deathmatch and Last Man Standing, which is pretty standard for most competitive games today. So now we go to January 24th. Gameplay was posted by 2p.com. I'm only going to show a small clip. The full clips will be available in the description down below if you want to see their full gameplay. Now we go a few months later to May 27, 2015. The intro cinematic was posted exclusively to 2p.com, and the rest of the world learned there was no plans to release outside of China, unfortunately, because a lot of players were looking forward to this game because it looked a lot more like the original Borderlands 1, which still had a cult following, and some people today even prefer that to the Borderlands 2 style and weapon and all that stuff. So now we move to June 2nd, 2015. New screenshots were posted and more information was released. Players were given 2 new dungeons, the End of the Stars and the Heartfinder Cage. The first is a story dungeon, and the second was the first dungeon with a boss, and the boss was called Queen Bonnie, although no screenshots or gameplay is found of her. Also, a new PvP mode was added that is similar to Capture the Flag called, quote, Claptrap's Bomb Heaven. The goal was to pick up Claptrap from the center of the map and lead him to the other team's base. If the holder is killed, it can be picked up by someone else. So super similar to Capture the Flag, basically just with Claptrap. And it was a really cool design. Claptrap had a bomb taped to him, and it looked really cool having the characters carry him. Also, character customization was shown off in more screenshots. Now we move to July 21st, 2015. 4 bosses were officially announced, more so than the previous screenshots in part 1. The first was Widow Producer. It's the Hive Tyrant dungeon boss that is a spider ant basically. Doom Furnace is the dungeon boss. He basically is like a Sledge clone. He uses his hammer and is said to have more of a fire element emphasis. Then next there was the General Knox clone, except his face is covered and has laser weapons. It is not known what dungeon he was the boss of. And lastly, there was the Blood Spider Evil dungeon boss. It's the spider ant, except it is said to have an ice emphasis. So it's all really cool. We learned a lot about the bosses and different dungeons and what they would be taking from the Borderlands 1 assets and using in this game. So now we go to July 23rd, 2015. 5 weapon manufacturers were confirmed to be in the game. Vladolf, Maliwan, Dahl, Atlas, and a new exclusive weapon type Polaris. I'll get all into this in another video. I'll go in depth on what we knew about all the different weapon types, so be on the lookout for that. But so for right now, all we knew is that there'd be 5 different weapon types, for sure, or manufacturers. So now we go to July 26, 2015. Monsters were revealed and named. Skags were renamed to Ardwolves and said to have teeth that can corrode human armors. They have multiple different forms. We also learned about spider ants were changed to just spiders, and were said to attack treasure hunters instead of vault hunters, so that's another slight difference between the main Borderlands franchise and this game. So, but I don't really know how the translation works. Maybe treasure hunter is as close as they could get in the Chinese market, with people still understanding what it means. And the last enemy we learned about were bats. Not much is known about the enemy, but what we can assume is that they were probably some sort of other asset, like a rack kind of in Borderlands 1, just renamed and probably slightly reskinned. So now we go to July 30, 2015. The testing for the game was announced to start on August 12th of 2015. One day later, on July 31st, 2015, a new weapon brand was announced and given more information, Polaris. Also, Shonda Games announced manufacturer-specific missions that must be completed to receive the best guns in the game, which is a really cool change that we really haven't seen in any of the other Borderlands games. There aren't manufacturer-specific quests to get the best weapons and to work up your rank with said manufacturers. So we don't know how for sure that worked in the end game with crafting, and if they also gave you plans you could craft better weapons if you had a high enough rank with them. But another thing we learned on July 31st is that 6 bosses are set to be in the game with mechanics and weak points, and they each had their own health bars, title credits, and this is for sure. And they also said to expect new content every 3 months after the game was fully released. Now we move to August. There wasn't much news except for on August 25th the testing ended. And then we kind of jump all the way, nothing through September or October, and then we go to November 4, 2015. 2K Games closed its headquarters in Shanghai as well as the other office in the arena in the area, which only left the QA or quality assurance office in the area. All employees were let go. 2K Games Shanghai was helping the joint development of Borderlands Online with Shonda Games. 3 days later, on November 7, 2015, Shanghai Studio, or Shonda Games, was the last company working on Borderlands Online, and it was shut down. Over 150 employees were let go, and Take-Two Interactive statement claimed that the game would not be a financial success and decided to cut their losses. 1 month later, on December 21st, 2015, it was reported by Shonda Games that they were in communication with Gearbox/Take-Two/2K, hoping to get the rights to develop a mobile game. So, and that is the last piece of news we know so far for this. So I think that this game actually has a really interesting history, and I'll get into all my thoughts in the next video after this one. Let me know what you guys think about the whole story. Did you think it's crazy? It's such a big time jump for this game. Development over 2 straight years and then nothing. And it used a lot of the same assets from Borderlands 1. And I just hope that they release it in some form. Like, even if it was just like a early access $5 game on Steam, I would play it just to play through and kind of see what they were hoping for, to see some of the bosses and mechanics and just to jump in that world again. So I think that'd be really cool if they ever do decide to release it, or even a mobile version. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I am going to let the full testing trailer play out at the end, just so you guys can see it without any cuts or anything. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.